How can I pay off my credit card balance as quickly as possible? And which method for eliminating your debt do you think will work best for you? This video talks about the most effective ways to get out of debt right now, as well as the way we chose to get out of debt in our own lives. Most people find it hard to get out of debt quickly because it's so easy to charge more on a credit card, and it can be hard to get back on track if you already feel like you're running uphill. But it is possible to get out of debt fast. In this video, I'll talk about the pros and cons of 3 of the most effective ways to get out of debt, with the goal of helping you choose the one that works best for you. And make sure you stay until the end, because after we've talked about all the different ways to pay off debt, I'll tell you what budgeting strategy we're using to pay off our debt even faster, no matter what method you're using to pay off your debt. So make sure you're there until the end. Snowflake. The goal of the snowflake approach to debt is to get people to pay off all of their debts as soon as they can. If you have extra money, you should always use it to pay off your debts as soon as possible. If you have already planned for the interest on your debt in your budget, which I hope you have, then any extra money you put toward paying it off will help bring down the total amount owed and lower the total amount, where you will end up when you have paid everything back in full. People often have side jobs or sell things they don't want anymore to make extra money each month. This gives them more freedom with their money. As long as it will help them pay down their debt, they will try to do it. The good things about using the snowflake method. This strategy gives you a lot of flexibility because you don't have to set up a specific payment plan. You will have to think more about the things you buy because even small purchases could have gone toward paying down your debt. The problems with using the snowflake method. Some extra money here and there probably won't make much of a difference in how quickly you can pay off your debt. You will need to find big snowflakes every month if you want to make a difference. It's not very well thought out because there's no plan for when you have to pay and how much you have to pay. Many people who work in the financial industry say that the snowflake method is not the best way to pay off debt on its own. However, when used with either of the next 2 methods we'll talk about, it can be a very helpful addition. Snowball. The snowball method says that you should start with the person you owe the least amount of money to, and work your way up to the person you owe the most money to. As you pay off some of your smaller debts at first, you may realize that as time goes on, the number of people or businesses you owe money to will go down. Eventually, you'll only owe money to the people you owed the most money to. Pros and cons of the snowball strategy. This could be a good way to keep you going, since it's easy to see growth at first and you may think it's a good thing. It's a pretty well thought out plan, and it's easy to stick to because you always know which debt to pay off next. It will also help you set a clear goal and give you a plan for how to reach it. The method is very useful, and it will get easier to use as you pay off your debts. The problems with using the snowball method. One of the things that could go wrong with the snowball method is that it doesn't take interest rates into account. If you don't put the highest interest debts at the top of your list, you might end up spending more money overall. Because you might end up paying more money overall, it could take longer to pay off the debt than with the next method. Even though the snowball method might not be the fastest way to pay off debt, many people still choose to use it because it is easy to do and gives you motivation as you pay off each bill in turn. Because of this, people can keep paying off their debts and keep their eyes on the prize. Avalanche. Part of the avalanche method is to pay off your bills with the highest interest rates first. This type of debt includes things like credit card debt and personal loans that are not backed by anything. Mostly because they usually have bad interest rates. If you pay off the loans with the highest interest rates first, you can get out of debt faster and, hopefully, spend less money on interest in the long run. When you pay off the debt with the highest interest rate first, you will soon see that you have more money left over each month. This extra money is something you can use to pay off your debts even faster. The pros of using an avalanche strategy. This is one of the most effective ways to pay off debt, as it is one of the main goals of the plan. When you pay off the loan with the highest interest rate, you will have more money each month to put toward the debt with the next highest interest rate. This will help you pay it off even faster. Because of this, it is one of the fastest choices. Bad things about using an avalanche strategy. If one of your biggest debts also has one of your highest interest rates, this strategy will require a lot of self-control, since you might not have as many easy wins at first. The method could test your motivation because, even though it's supposed to be one of the quickest, It could take a while before you start to see results. If you can see that you pay less in interest each month and think that helps, then this plan will definitely help you pay off your debt. The avalanche method is the fastest and will cost you the least overall. Pick how you want to pay back your loan. Here are the 3 ways we'll talk about in this video to help you get out of debt. Snowflake, pay off debt whenever you have some extra money. Snowball, pay off debt with the smallest amount first. Avalanche, pay off debt with the highest interest first. Because it's important to stay motivated while working to pay off debt. It will help you a lot if you can keep up a high level of motivation throughout your journey. This is because you'll be able to see how paying off your debt is making your daily life better, which will make you want to pay off your debt faster. Once you've made a plan, it's important to stick to it and put as much effort as you can into making it work. We've found that the avalanche method works best for us because it lets us improve the quality of our lives as much as possible. We also think that the math behind it is enough to keep us going when things get hard. Making a budget and taking control of your finances are important first steps if you want to pay off your debts more quickly. We deal with it by making sure that we have enough money to take care of ourselves before we do anything else with our paychecks. This means that if we get paid, we will put some of that money aside for ourselves first, and then we can use the rest of the money for whatever we want. By saving some of our monthly income for ourselves first, we can make sure that we have enough money left over at the end of each month to pay off a big chunk of our debt. Because we pay it at the beginning of the month instead of at the end, we know for sure that we have enough money to cover it, and we can see how well our plan to get rid of our debt is working from month to month. If we did it near the end of the month, we might have spent the money on something else, and then we wouldn't have any money left over to pay off our debt. If we did it earlier in the month, we might still have enough money left over to pay off our debt. If you don't already use a budgeting plan, you should really think about trying to pay yourself first. This will help you a lot when it comes to paying off your debts faster. Because once you get used to making those payments, you will be able to pay more each month. A good rule of thumb might be to start by setting aside 10% of your salary for yourself. Then you can figure out how to spend the rest of your money. This will give you a solid financial base on which to build your future. Then, as you get better, you might start to increase the number so you can save more money for yourself at first. This way of making a budget will not only help you pay off your debt, but it will also give you extra money each month that you can use to work toward your goals. We're here to help people with personal finance, so if you are interested in more topics like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. That way you will be notified when we release a new video which might help you on your journey.